Live from the Caterpillar Global Communications Center at Bradley University, this is BUTV News.
Good evening and welcome to BUTV News. I'm Imani Shamsuddin.
And I'm Tirza Sprigella. Let's take a look at the news.
Some of our Bradley students are holding an event to test people for diabetes. If you're in the Peoria area this Saturday, you should check this out.
Our event will be hosted on April 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. down at Sous Chef in the Warehouse District. And our event is going to be themed on living your best and healthy life.
I've been diagnosed with prediabetes. So that means your level is between a certain range, but it doesn't cross over that into that 126 range. But I'm able to keep that number below the level, and a lot of it is through diet and exercise, but it's like, you have to be relentless. You just have to constantly work at it.
In addition to the free testing from the Wellness Mobile and Unity Point, we will also be having brunch from Sous Chef. And Sous Chef is proud to announce that they'll have various types of quiche served every 45 minutes. So be prepared for some, we're gonna be surprised too. So lots of good stuff there.
We have like 5 things that are in our tenets. Healthy is up there with the first few, so it's very important to us, and you guys seem to be preaching, healthful, good things.
We'll also be having a yoga class from Soulside Healing Arts, and that class will be from 12:10 until 12:50, and the cost is going to be $15.
I think the biggest thing yoga can do for people with diabetes and prevention, and this really goes for many if not most chronic disease, is stress reduction. So yoga practices like deep breathing and meditation are all related to stress reduction.
I would say though it's absolutely worth it. If you're pre-diabetic, you want to take it very seriously.
We're happy to announce that there will be live music at our event from PS Jazz from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. In addition, we'd like to invite all of you to check out our website. We have a lot of healthy recipes there that are type 2 diabetes friendly, as well as information about our for-profit and not-for-profit and the Wellness Mobile. All this information can be found on our website, which is 2019xix.wordpress.com, and you can find a lot of information there about our event and our vendors.
In anticipation for the opening of the spring play, Bradley held a special guest last Friday. Next week, Bradley will open their last play of the semester, Sense and Sensibility. The Iben Lecture invited playwright Kate Hamill to talk about adapting Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. As an actress, she found female roles were limited to few character archetypes. She took the matter into her own hands and wrote Sense and Sensibility. Hamill encourages the audience to take action for what they want, as she is proof of success. Sense and Sensibility opens next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. The Bradley Heat spent the past 2 days exploring a fun way to educate students about poor drinking decisions. Out on Olin Quad, the Bradley University Heat organization held an event where students were able to come out and run a golf cart through a small obstacle course. The catch? They had to do it while wearing alcohol impairment goggles. This eyewear causes the user to have impaired vision in a way that simulates being drunk. Needless to say, the students that tried navigating the course hit the cones they were trying to avoid very often. The purpose of this event was to educate students on just how dangerous drunk driving really is and the high risk of accidents that can happen. Despite being a fun exercise, it puts into a visual perspective the possible consequences of driving under the influence.
Bradley held another music scholarship concert last weekend on Sunday afternoon. This one was the Bradley Community Chorus. Alumni, current students, and citizens around the Peoria area sung at Dingledine. The concert was entitled American Landscapes. The group does one major concert every semester, either with the Bradley Symphony or the Peoria Symphony. Seniors Randy Sperry and Nolan Ruthie got to conduct this chorus as a guest conductor. German kids got to see what it was like to hear poems in song.
Students learning German got a new look at the language they were studying. German 316 met at Dingledine Music Center on Tuesday afternoon to hear different poems that they have been working on being brought to life in song.
Students of German were invited to the Dingledine Center, and they met with singers who were singing in German.
Students studied poems and read them on stage in front of their class to practice their pronunciation.
Students learned how to perform in front of audience. They practiced pronunciation and they learned to internalize what a poem is about.
With the help of Dr. Carrie Walters and the music department, the songs could be performed and the students could see that a poem with music is something completely different.
We see a lot the connection between music and poetry, and students who learn German literature, they need to also appreciate music, because music and German poetry goes hand in hand.
Seniors Aria Kramer, Kelsey Chapman, and Randy Sperry performed a couple poems set to music to give the students an idea of just how beautiful German can be. And since this whole event was inspired by Dr. Scher, I asked her how it felt to see her students up there performing German poetry.
Well, it's always exciting to see them perform and see them enjoying it, but it's also a little anxiety on my part. Are they going to pronounce this correctly? But it went pretty good.
For BUTV News, I'm Trey Gilliland.
Last Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m., the sorority Sigma Kappa hosted a taco dinner event at their house. We delve more into the event here. In the Sigma Kappa house, they graciously hosted a taco dinner for everyone on campus. Coming in, guests provided $5 to enter that benefited the sorority's foundation, Pulse Fund. Attending the event, the sorority provided drinks, music, tacos from Alexander's Steakhouse, and Childers with toppings, chips and salsa, and last but not least, sugar cookies. The event not only succeeded in receiving money that helps their fund, but also helped make memories between the sorority members and students on campus.
Last night in GCC 126 from 7 to 9 p.m., the Music Production Masterclass showcased a variety of artists and their skills. We went there to find out more. As students around campus come to this showcase, the event showed many potential artists for the music industry. During the event, there were many presenters that not only were in different years, but had students that even had many different majors. Each of them were given 15 minutes. Presenters could tell their stories, whether it was about their origin into this kind of work or even showcasing their skills to the audience. In the end, this event shows not only everyone's ability for the music industry, it also shows people to have fun with what they do and provide lessons to those interested. When you think of a police officer, do you normally think of them being nice or mean? How about the Bradley Police Department? In this week's Someone You Should Know, Deanna Cantu had a chance to talk to Sergeant Jerry McKean about why he works for Bradley and how the students have treated him. She has more from the police station.
For this week's edition of Someone You Should Know, I sat down with Sergeant Jerry McKean from the Bradley Police Department. Tell me a little bit about yourself, some of your favorite hobbies, life at Bradley.
Well, I don't know about hobbies. I retired from the city of Peoria after 31 years and took a lateral transfer here to Bradley. I have a motorcycle that I ride, a sailboat that hasn't been out of the garage in 20 years, but I've got 2 boys, 2 girls. The girls are in high school, they're twins, and the boys are both Eagle Scouts and going to junior college.
What made you want to come to Bradley?
Actually, it was the tuition for my kids. I really wasn't looking for a job when I retired, but it was easier to put them through college working at Bradley than it would be to pay for it.
What made you want to join law enforcement?
I took the job on a dare 31 years ago.
On a dare?
Yes, I did.
There's a story behind that.
Actually, a buddy and I were praying at my house one night, and he suggested law enforcement, and I said, there's just no way. And he said, you need to lay a fleece before the Lord. And I said, I don't need to. I don't want to be a cop. But he talked me into it, and I said, well, if my ex-wife knocks on the door one more time, and I told her, don't darken my door again, I'm not doing it. She knocked on the door the next morning with the applications. Long story short, out of hundreds of applicants, I was #1 on the list.
Wow.
So it wound up to be a pretty good deal.
How have things changed at Bradley since you've been here? Is there more underage drinking? Are there higher rates of crimes, lower rates?
I've been here 7 months, but I've worked this area for probably 20 years. For the city. I think the kids are a little more well-behaved now than they had been in the past. I think the law enforcement, especially the Bradley Police Department, is more interested in working with the kids instead of policing them. It's more of a, we're here to help you and get you through this. It's not a us against them mentality.
Do you think there is an overall positive, neutral, or negative relationship between the BUPD and the students?
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, the students really enjoy having us here. I've worked at neighborhoods where you don't want to tell them you're a police officer when you're off duty. But around the Bradley campus, the kids, I've been approached by people who said, when I'm walking from building to building at 4 o'clock in the morning and I see you guys out, I feel better. So I appreciate you guys out there. It's more of a partnership. I think they're more aware of what we do for them instead of just keeping an eye on them.
Reporting from the Bradley Police Department, I'm Deanna Cantu for BUTV News.
Join us after the break to find out what Mother Nature has in store for us next week.
And what our entertainment anchor Misa Nagase will have for us this week, I don't know, but I can't wait to find out.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up? Oh, we finally bought a place. Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is
it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
You're not in here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stab me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
So, what did you guys think when you guys woke up Sunday morning?
I didn't check the weather, so I was shocked. I was
Really?
like, what? It was 70 on Friday, and now
I know. But
snowing?
hey, the last 2 days have been great, right? I mean, warm weather, shorts, shirts, sandals has been awesome. So
Yeah.
if we want to go ahead, we can go ahead and look at our weather radar over here. So this is our current radar as of right now. As you guys can see, we just ended a lovely day today with lots of sun, nice warm weather. We're going to be ending the night with some partially cloudy. As of right now, there is a little bit of scattered thunderstorms moving northeast right above Kansas City all the way through Iowa over here. But we're not just ending on a partially cloudy night tonight. If we want to go ahead and move to our next radar right here, yikes, as you can see, we're going to be ending our night between the 11 o'clock and midnight hour with a lot of thunderstorms that are going to be continuing on into the morning tomorrow and Thursday. So if you guys have early classes, 9 a.m.s, I definitely would bring umbrella, possibly bring out the rain boots because it's going to be storming all throughout tomorrow morning. So if we want to go ahead and look at our temperature map though, the weather's getting warmer, so even though there's rain coming in, we're hopefully not going to be seeing any more snow in the near future, but you never know in Illinois with this weather. But hey, I say dress for the weather that you want to have, not the weather that you currently have. So if we keep dressing like it's really nice outside, we're going to keep on getting that warm weather. As you guys can see, we're right around the 75-degree range right here in Peoria, and then also it's 81.5 degrees down here in St. Louis, so hopefully we're going to be seeing some of that coming up within this next week. If we want to go ahead and look at our 5-day forecast here, I can tell you guys what we got coming up. Alrighty, as we see, we're going to have some scattered thunderstorms going into tomorrow morning, and just a little bit cloudy skies tomorrow night. We're going to start seeing that sun again coming up Friday, and it's going to be a lovely Easter weekend with the high of 75 degrees on Sunday. And then, unfortunately, we're going to see a little bit of rain coming in Monday to start off our next week. That is all that I have for you for the weather news. I will now throw it off to entertainment with Misa Nagase.
Some of you might remember a story I did a few weeks ago on Josiah Williams, Christian rapper, wrestle and flow creator, and our very own Bradley basketball MC. He's recently been noticed by the WWE and will be leaving Peoria to start his new position with the WWE as an on-air talent and content creator. Part of the reason Williams was picked up by the WWE is his strong knack in social media. Along with his personal account, Josiah had been running the City of Peoria Community Development Department Instagram as part of his role as Peoria's Neighborhood Enhancement Coordinator. In his time in the role, he managed to garner over 1,000 followers for the account, which can be followed at @AppreciatePeoria. The Instagram account is a great way to follow up on what is going on in the city of Peoria. As students often in the Bradley bubble, learning about what is going on in the Peoria community is important, enriching, and provides a new perspective to the college experience. Moving to global news, scientists have captured the first image of a black hole using a global network of telescopes. The supermassive black hole is at the center of a galaxy known as M87. The galaxy is 55 million light years away from Earth, and the black hole has a mass that is 6.5 billion times that of our sun. The Event Horizon Telescope collaboration involved more than 200 researchers across the globe, working for over a decade. The combined power of 8 radio telescopes created an aperture the size of Earth. The exciting discovery that was once thought to be impossible is a major accomplishment for the scientific community. So what did you all think when you saw that first picture?
I think it's pretty cool.
Right.
I don't know too much about that stuff, but I think it's really awesome, and I'm excited, so.
Yeah, same.
Stick around to learn more about a lunch filled with foreign language.
And find out if college students procrastinate. The answer may surprise you, but probably not.
Hey, it's Ava, and this is Tess from Vivo's Do It Yourselfie, where we recreate the hottest looks from today's biggest music videos.
After cleaning out our closet, we have a lot of clothes we don't wear anymore.
Like this old t-shirt.
It's not garbage, it's actually a brand new rug.
And to make it, all you need to do is cut, tie, and glue.
Cut the t-shirt into strips.
Tie the strips into knots.
And glue the knots to the bath mat. I love it. Give your garbage another life.
And recycle.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Have you ever had the pleasure of conversing with someone in their native language? Bradley is holding a conversation hour for German, French, and Spanish speakers. Now, let's join our reporter Sheridan Hertig live outside the Student Center ballroom. Sheridan.
Every semester, Bradley holds special events they call conversation hours, where students can meet with friends and faculty over lunch and talk in their own native languages. There are conversation hours for German, French, and Spanish speakers. And today we have Assistant Professor James Cortad with us to learn more about the Spanish conversation hours called Mesa Hispanica. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
So I was wondering, Why would you make a special event for foreign language speakers in the first place?
We try to give students a chance to speak outside of the classroom in a no-pressure situation. So there's usually a faculty member there, but they're not being graded on their Spanish. So they can just chit-chat, and it gets them to meet other students in other language classes. And so hopefully, to sort of build a community and urge them to take further language classes.
And on that, how do these conversation hours bring foreign language speakers together?
So we usually meet in a particular room on Bradley's third floor, which is where the World Languages Department is headquartered. And students go, sometimes it's required, part of their class. Other times students go because they're really trying to work on their speaking capabilities.
Wow. And is Mesa Hispanica a structured event, or do they have more freedom when it comes to that? And I guess in other words, do you have assigned speakers that come to speak to the students, or are people free to talk to whoever else is at the event?
Yeah, we prefer that it's a free-form event. A couple of the professors, we try to have some topics to keep the students engaged, current events or things like that. So I have little strips of paper which I sort of bop around, because you don't want students to break off into English when they're done talking about a particular question. So, but it's pretty free form.
And since it is at lunchtime, is food provided, or do students end up bringing their own?
Most people actually don't bring food. I wish we as a department could afford some food. It might be more fun, but no, it just happens to be at the noon hour because that works best sometimes for the faculty and for most of the students as well.
Okay. And can students come even if they don't speak Spanish?
Yes, we really encourage that. Maybe they can pick something up, or maybe they'll think, oh boy, I'd like to take a class too. And we also invite students who maybe speak some Spanish but are not in our foreign language classes to come by, because that oftentimes they speak at home, and so it's a different type of Spanish, and it's not the classroom Spanish, it's a more natural Spanish. So we like to have those types of students come as well.
So I hear that you guys are going to actually be having an event coming up. Can you let us know when and where that will be?
Sure thing. There's one tomorrow, as a matter of fact, and I will be there sort of moderating the event, and it's at 1:30 p.m. in Bradley, room 310 on the third floor of Bradley Hall. There will be one other event, I believe it's next week as well. We usually schedule about 12 per semester, one a week, so that the students, with flexible schedules, they can kind of go to as many as they can.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with me today. And live from BUTV News in the Student Center, I'm Sheridan Hertig.
If college students are known for one thing, it's procrastination. This week we sent out our reporter Jade Sewell to find out the truth behind this statement.
Hi, I'm Jade Sewell, and on this week's episodes of Campus Convos, we're talking about projects, papers, and procrastination. So let's see how Bradley students are handling their projects in the wake of upcoming finals. What's the latest all-nighter you've ever pulled to get a project done?
Let's see, it was due at 8:30, and I stayed up all night and turned it in at 7:50-ish. That was probably last semester.
In college?
The latest I've ever procrastinated an assignment till was probably about 1 a.m.
3 a.m.
It was actually in middle school. It was like the morning of, and I was like, I don't remember what the project was, but I also remembered it was like, I don't know, it's 50% of the grade, and I ended up and I failed it.
I printed off a paper after class had started.
I think the latest I've stayed up to finish an assignment was probably about 3 or 4 a.m.
I didn't sleep that night.
How many all-nighters have you pulled since coming to college?
I don't know if I've done any like for academic needs. I've done them for funsies, for sure, but I've definitely closed down the library a few times.
How often do you pull like those 3 a.m. nights?
Honestly, for me, like if something's not done by midnight, I just go to bed. So I'll wake up early and do things instead. Like that's how you know I've already lost at that point.
Smart, smart. How do you survive an all-nighter?
Taking a really long sleep right after your first class.
And are you procrastinating anything right now?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe one. Yeah, but I still have a little bit of time. So, a couple days left, so I'm good.
I'm kind of done with that phase, and hopefully I can keep it going for the future.
I have a test in 2 hours.
And that was Jade Sewell reporting. In between the snow day this past weekend, Bradley still managed to pull a doubleheader on Saturday.
We'll have more on that story after these disconcerting messages.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
La 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 la, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
So, a double header, huh?
Yes, a doubleheader. I was actually at the ballpark for over 7 hours between just watching the games, and we did a post-game show for Braves Vision. So it was a long day. However, Bradley came out with 2 wins, but we'll get to that later. Let's start with Bradley softball. Bradley softball continued their dominance away from Peoria last weekend as they swept Evansville in a doubleheader for their 7th and 8th consecutive road wins. In the first game, freshman Grace French took a no-hitter into the 5th inning and allowed just 1 run on 1 hit. And sophomore Thais Thompson had 2 RBI as the Braves won 3-1. In the second game, senior Julie Kestis pitched a complete game, and freshman Lucy Mead knocked in 2 runs as Bradley took the victory 4-2. The team's conference record now sits at 9-5, good for 5th place in the Valley. The Braves will have a chance to leapfrog 4th place Northern Iowa this weekend in Cedar Falls before heading home for a doubleheader versus Illinois State on Tuesday. The women's golf team finished out their season at the MVC Championship on Tuesday, taking 3rd place. The Braves' 3-round team score of 9-14 edged 4th place Indiana State by 1 stroke. Junior Taylor Ledwin finished in 4th with a 2.23, and senior Brooke Thompson took 11th with a 2.28. Senior Frankie Sabin and Ledwin were both named to the All-Conference team. Ledwin has been named to the All-Valley team all 3 seasons of her career here at Bradley. The men will look to defend their 2018 Valley title on Monday and Tuesday in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. And last but not least, after getting swept by Evansville 2 weeks ago to start conference play, Bradley baseball had other plans as they took on SIU over the weekend. After defeating the Salukis 8-0 on Friday night, the Braves look to keep things rolling on a beautiful Saturday for baseball in Peoria. The very first at-bat of the game, Luke Shadid takes this 3-2 offering and parks it at the top of the left field berm. He absolutely crushed that one. Bradley broke out the sombrero for the celebration. They had a lot to celebrate on the day. Just 2 batters later, with a man on, Dan Bolt absolutely demoralizes this baseball for Bradley's second yabo of the inning as they took an early 3-0 first inning lead. Absolute shot for Bolt there. The Braves did save some scoring for later, however, as Andy Shadid, older brother of Luke Shadid, singled up the middle with the bases loaded. Now you may think, oh, 2 RBIs is pretty solid for Shadid. The center fielder said, "Olay," and botches the ground ball, and the bases cleared on that single. 3 RBIs for Shadid there, as the Braves would go on to win 14-4. The team would complete the sweep by winning the nightcap 7-1. Tuesday, Bradley traveled to the University of Illinois for a non-conference matchup. After falling behind 3-0 in the first inning, the Braves lineup had a power surge as J.F. Garan and Brendan Doherty homered, Dan Bolt and Connor O'Brien both went yard twice. Bradley came out victorious 12-8 to extend their winning streak to 11. The streak is the country's longest active win streak and is Bradley's longest since 1993. The team will travel to Dallas this weekend for a crucial series with perennial powerhouse Dallas Baptist.
You're always so passionate about the sport.
What can I say? I love baseball.
Alrighty, be sure to stick around to find out what sporting events are coming up here.
Let's get through this last break. I believe in us.
For too long, there's been too much silence.
We've stepped back when we should have stepped up.
We lack the bravery to have the tough conversations.
It stops now.
It stopped with us.
As campus leaders, we recognize that sexual assault is a real problem.
And it's time to take action.
We're standing together as a community because this issue affects all of us.
And we can only end it if we are braver together.
Starting now, we don't look the other way. We make it a move and do something.
Before it's too late.
We promote a culture of respect for all students.
We say something even when it's easier to remain silent.
We stand up for survivors.
We never blame them.
We hold our friends, our leaders, our teammates,
and ourselves accountable for our actions.
And when we see something wrong, we're brave enough to interrupt. We say something.
We do something. We watch out for each other.
Always.
Being a Bradley Brave means
ending the silence.
Together, we can work to end sexual assault and rape culture in our community. Together, we can do the right thing. Together, we can do the brave thing. Make your move and stand with us.
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 And we can all be braver together.
Welcome back. Let's see what exciting events are coming up. Reduce your single-use plastic waste by joining your peers in skipping the straw this Earth Day. Free and reusable plastic straws will be available at all dining services locations that typically dispense plastic straws. Choose your favorite color, pack it in your bag, and use with coffee, tea, water, smoothies, or any other drink. Simply rinse with hot water and pack again to reuse the straw and reduce your footprint. Bradley's women's tennis team will be playing twice this weekend. They will be facing Drake on Saturday, April 20th at 11 o'clock and University of Northern Iowa on Sunday, April 21st at 11 o'clock. Both games will be played right here in Peoria at the David Markin Tennis Courts. Another sporting event coming to Peoria is Bradley's baseball team, who will be playing University of Illinois on Tuesday, April 23rd at 6 o'clock in Dozer Park. Well, that's it for BUTV News this week. I'm Teresa Sprigella.
I'm Larry Larson.
I'm Misa Nagase.
I'm Keegan Burkhart.
And I'm Imani Shamsuddin. Backed by popular demand, we leave you tonight with another performance from Juniper Was Good. Have a great week and don't forget to be brave.
Hey everybody, we're Juniper Was Good. I'm gonna take a second to introduce our band here. Laying down these lead lines over here, we got Connor, everybody. Our rhythm man, good old Kuba with a B. Laying down the beats behind me, we got Andrew Alverson. My name's Kuda, I sing, and I play this thing. We are Juniper Was Good. This one's called January. I waited till January. I wanted the leaves to fall on your sundress in the late afternoon. I called home for the first time. The last week of November, they say, how are you?